Hello and welcome, everyone. We are here today to introduce to you one of our newest members, an amazing woman, Rosie Paulsen. Hello and welcome, Rosie. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Elena. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you from Tampa, Florida. Well, I'm in Lutz, which is a little bit of the outskirts, but it's fantastic. The world has changed, but to me, that's just a new opportunity.
Absolutely. The world is definitely changing right now. We are in the middle of a shutdown at the time of this recording. So, Rosie, I loved your live that you did inside the group. We really got to know some of your background and how you got to where you are today. So, today I want to keep this interview focused around what you're doing right now and how you help people. And I want to start off by talking about your book. So, you're
Mhm.
currently writing a book. Tell us a little bit about the topic and maybe what inspired you to write the book.
Well, the topic is really about resilient and entrepreneur mindset resilient, which is kind of like my background. There is a Quechua word from my country, Ecuador, called ñeque, and that's really that spirit that continue to let you, even if you will get knocked down or you lay for a minute, you get up and you continue to do it. So it has to be the resilient of becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a business owner. I just at that time did not know that you can use this resilience for everything. So I tell people diets, they do work. It's sometimes the resilience of yourself sticking to the long-term process. And that's where, to me, ñeque, which is that spirit of continuing to stay there for the long haul, right? Little did I know that entrepreneurs and business owners are going to be front and center, because I heard this quote recently where it says entrepreneurs and business owners are the leaders, the adaptable leaders of the world. Because right now, what are they doing? They're adapting, right? So the guy from My Pillow, what is he doing now? He's putting his My Pillow business away and he's producing masks. Tesla is producing ventilators. So that is the spirit of that entrepreneurial, that is the human spirit, that is that ñeque spirit, that no matter what, you just adapt and keep going, right? We know that our economy is going to be affected, and many business owners, either they adapt and change, and that's what it's all about. You might have to, like in my case, what's happening, most of my events were face to face. We're networking with people. We're about hugging and kissing and making you feel good. And now even that part has changed for me, because I feel, I don't know if you are an X-Men person. I am. But Jean Grey, she's one of the most powerful mutants, right? But when she gets this when she gets a little bit frustrated, or if she lost it, she destroys. There's a path of destroy in her way. So that is the part of, we as business owners, we just need to adapt, take all this strength, all this powerful resilient spirit, and just adapt to something different, because our life has changed. And for me now, I feel like Jean Grey, because I can't kiss anymore anybody, I can't hug anymore, and it's gonna be so difficult to have that 6 foot distance, because I'm a social butterfly. So, but I do believe now that I have to go in live and talk more people. I will actually span. To me, I thought only Tampa at the very beginning, but now it's gonna be international. And they mark my words. My goal is that maybe at one point I will speak in my country of origin, Ecuador. I don't know how would that look, but yeah, I would love to talk to people and entrepreneurs over there, because if I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. I love the topic of your book, and it is really important as an entrepreneur to embrace change and to adapt. And I actually have a blog article about that, of how flexible are you, because there's going to be things that are out of our control, and we have to learn to just roll with it, right? And
Yeah.
and really, I see you're saying how you can't get out there and hug people and meet in person anymore. And so it's opened up a world to you of doing video conferencing and things like that. So I'm curious, now that you're getting into doing video conferencing, do you think that you'll start utilizing this platform more because you found it as a benefit now?
Yes, this is a really quick story, but I actually had canceled my Zoom trial thingy before this thing happened. And when the crisis happened, I'm thinking, oh my God, I just canceled my Zoom. I hope they let me restate it. And thank God, I just click on that thing and says, just keep your subscription. But yes, to me, I kept putting off because of my control and my perfection. I kept putting off all my virtual classes, all my virtual stuff. So I had to become very familiar with, well, drive my husband insane, really, because he's my techie guy, about the lighting, about the makeup I'm using, the clothing. I had to get into with the image consultant, because now it's different. And my biggest thing is I want you to understand or feel the same energy that you will feel when you're in front of me when I'm virtually, because that is who I am. And that's what people come to my events, is because they want to feel that warmth, that energy, that nieke, right? But again, it just like any leader, adaptable leader of the world, I have to roll with the punches and get myself out there and do it. And that's what I'm doing now. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I can say that we can definitely feel your energy come right through the camera. So you're still holding true to who you are, and that is fabulous to witness on video with you. So thank you for being you. And I also heard you say that you have a goal you think it'd be really neat to go back to Ecuador, to where you're from, and do some speaking, which absolutely love the big dreams and the big goals you have set for yourself. But let's talk about your speaking career now. So you are currently speaking. Tell us a little bit about places that you speak and what topics you like to speak on.
Well, I've always involved with kind of like startup things where I know what I need, so I go back looking for places. So I'm an alumni of this thing called Prospera, which is it used to be called HBIF, Hispanic Business Initiative Fund. They actually gave me a grant to create my brand. So I go back and talk to them, because I feel that if you're using a platform, if you're using a service, it's better if you have testimonies of people that have used the services too. I'm also an alumni of the ICCC, Inner City Capital Connection. That put me in contact with Pacific Venture Capital, which now I have a business coach that works with me. His name is Hernani Alves. And that's through that system. So I talk to them too. I'm part of the Florida Virtual Entrepreneur Center. And I'm actually going to have a presentation with them, a virtual presentation at the end of the month, a Friday. The other places, I know there's one more that I'm missing, but anything to do with women, I get invited also, because I'm part of the Florida Commission on the Status of Women, which is a nonpartisan entity that our job is to really find what is affecting Florida women, and it is an appointed position. So my appointed authority is Senate President Bill Galvano. So our job is to collect all this data and also solutions, and then present it to the cabinet. And once a year, we also open, because there's something that is a statutory things that we have to do, but then there's the other stuff, which is the deep into, like, it goes by county, sometimes it goes by city, and then by not county, by city, location, and things, because each location is different. I mean, you go to Fort Lauderdale, there's one, and you go to Tampa, there's another need, and you go to Jacksonville, there's another need. So that's what we present to our elected officials. I'm part of this thing called the Tampa Club. They hold it's a members club in the 42nd floor of the Bank of America building, which is the tallest building in downtown Tampa. And it's a social kind of business club. I do a lot of my presentations there too, because the members are just, I mean, really, we literally are now having virtual social, because we miss each other so much. But I also have my mastermind groups, kind of like what you have with this group here. I used to have them face to face too. Once a month, I will get together and with about 10 business owners, and we do the hot seat thing where they'll share their struggling, and now you have 9, 10 people that is telling you, you know, what you should try. So that was very powerful. And I do host once a quarter my workshops. That is actually where my book is going to be talking about. And then I have a workbook that people go through in my workshops. So that's pretty much where I speak. I try to keep it as organized as possible. But I know eventually I will have to have like a person that keeps it all together for me, you know, like a public relations person. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you are getting ready to or are currently working with Steve Sapato for
Yes.
perfecting your public speaking skills. Yes?
Yes. So I was going to attend his meeting. I believe it's a workshop that is a 2-day workshop. I was very excited about that, but it got moved to June. So that's what we're working on right now. And yes, him and I are talking about it, where he would prepare me. So my speaking engagement has really not been paid yet. With him, he's preparing me to hone my skills so I can go ahead and get paid for that passion that comes out when I speak in front of people.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So you work with entrepreneurs, and what do you work with them on? How do you help them?
And it's not really entrepreneurs, it's kind of like that small business. So you're an entrepreneur when you kind of just starting, right? But there's that part of that entrepreneur where you're ready to go into owning a business, right? Like you have a product, maybe you're now going to hire your first employee, or you outsourcing the things because it's just happening that everything is falling in your plate and you can't do it all. That's my avatar that you guys mentioned. Is the one that is trying to do it all but needs to delegate, but it's also kind of stuck thinking I have to do it all because I can't afford it. So my job is to kind of go in there and say, okay, wait a minute, you know the answer here. Let's look at where you stand. I mean, let's look at your income, right? Because the reality is I get paid $200 an hour when I sell a Medicare policy, which is one of my things, right? I pay my accountant $150 a month. So technically I have to sell one policy a month to pay for my accountant, and I don't have to do my books, right? And that makes me look great because at the end of the month, she sends me my P&L and I know how much I'm making. So those are the things that sometimes our entrepreneurs don't look at that. And you spend 3 or 4 hours trying to do your books when you realize that's not your call. Pay somebody. So I tell them, and when I love to see that light bulb on them and going, oh gosh, I didn't think about that. Right, because they're so overwhelmed with their business because they're the janitors, the CEOs, the accountant, everything, right? But then when they say, okay, I'm ready to do that, if they don't have a CPA or if they don't have a person that, then I can make those connections. And then my job is to see who their sphere of influence is, or who can, who the best client, or like their paying customers. And because I have so many connections, it's so big, I do the virtual introduction of those connections. And really, my virtual introduction is a done deal. It's putting you in front for you to do the best and shine, because I know that person has what you're offering, and I'm just matching them together. And because of my reputation and what I have done in the community, people, if people says, hey, Rosie said I have to meet, they pretty much open the door for you. And here in Tampa is a little bit different, and I know Steve talks about this. Who opens the door for you has a lot to say in here. So who introduces you, it tells you how successful you're going to be with that introduction.
I love that. Very good. So how do people get a hold of you if they want to work with you, or if they just want to talk to you, connect, collaborate, conquer, anything, build that relationship? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, my website, rosiepaulsen.com, has all my social media platforms. I do have a calendar thing that you can book a 15-minute conversation, which I believe one of the mastermind guys, the new ones too, is we're meeting tomorrow in a virtual meeting for 15 minutes. But yeah, and all my social media platforms are under Rosie Paulsen. LinkedIn is a big one. In Facebook, I'm very active, but I'm very active politically too. So some people I don't like to, because that's where I'm that's my profile, that's my personal, the real me is gonna come out there. So I try to kind of, if it's professional, let's go to the LinkedIn portion of it. But yeah, rosiepaulsen.com. My email, rosie@rosiepaulsen.com, and my cell phone number, 813-909-6965, 813-909-6965.
Perfect. Well, Rosie, thank you for being here today and allowing all of our Transform Mastermind members get to know you. It's always a pleasure talking with you. So for all of you viewers, if you are looking for a new relationship, somebody to connect, collaborate, and conquer with, definitely reach out to Rosie Paulsen. You will be excited to talk with her and get to know her. All right, that's it for today, everyone. Have a great one.
Ciao.